guys, this is going to be really quick. I've been working on something else today, and if you don't catch my live, you can catch it on a replay. I just seen someone else go live, and they're basically saying that Warriors Park was not searched, that they never searched the right place. Warriors Park was thoroughly searched many times. They have had divers down there, even on that log. And there's multiple pictures of dive teams searching the waterways down there at Warriors Park. And I will take y'all back to the interview that Chris McDonough was doing with Candace down at Warriors Park. And he asked her, "Do you know those people?" And she responded, "No, I do not." That was Equusearch, and they were pulling one of their surprise searches, and they thoroughly scoured and searched Warrior State right there after TBI, land and water. So the certain creator saying that it was never searched is lying. TBI has photos of the dive teams down there in the water at the park on their website. I am so tired of the misinformation for money, and it's getting pathetic. Because Equusearch, they're professionals, and their searches are thorough. And if you don't want to take my word for it, go back, look at the video where Chris McDonough asked Candace, "Do you know those people?" And she responds, "No, I don't." That's the day Equusearch was there, and they didn't want anybody to know where they would be searching at that day. And even Chris McDonough didn't know that they were going to show up at Warrior State Park that day to pull a search off right there. And they are very thorough people. And they turned over anything and everything that they found, on top of any evidence, any video evidence that has ever been found on social media. TBI has that too. They have been collecting photos and videos on social media, especially the last few weeks. So for her to say, "Oh, well, this video was never looked at," baloney. It was collected, it was looked at, it was entered in as evidence. Warrior State Path was thoroughly searched. We don't know what evidence they found down there, because they have said time and time again, what evidence they found, they are not releasing to the public for the integrity of the investigation. And they have also said time and time and time again, they do not want unprofessional people out there in those thick, thick, thick woods for other people to get lost, and they have to send out more people to find other lost people that's not familiar with the area and the woods. But the misinformation is getting bad because TBI and Hawkins, or whatever county that is down there at Warrior State Park. Oh, and the aerial photos and drone photos of Warrior State Park, they're all online. I almost started to just make a video on it and upload it instead of going live because of all the aerial photos and all that stuff, that and the photos of the dive team in the pond. But I didn't know if Chris M would strike me or not for using a piece of his photo where he asked Candace, or his video where he's asking Candace, do you know those people? She says no. And then we later find out that was Equusearch. And it is a felony for somebody to sit and threaten other people and intimidate other people with CPS threats and threats of law enforcement until they do what you want them to do. That is actually illegal. Doxing and harassing for purposes of intimidation. Crossing interstate lines for harassment is felonious. And so I'm just going to leave that right there because that's how tired of this I am. There may be some creators out there that I don't agree with and that I don't like, but I'm not going to threaten them until they get off of YouTube. I am not going to call CPS on them. I'm not going to call law enforcement on them and have them swatted. That is the most childish and immature shit that I ever seen in my life. We're supposed to be a community of people coming together with ideas to help find missing and lost people. Hey, Holly. Hey, Dolly. And then I'm seeing where they even turn on their subs after they send them money and stuff, and then they start hollering and screaming at people who try and help them. Y'all do what you want to do, but that's just not my kind of folks. That's not what I'm in this for. But I promise you, Warrior State Park has been searched on foot, by water, by air, you name it, it's been searched. Hey, girl. That video evidence that she's showing was collected by TBI a long time ago. I was working on something else and I had to stop what I was doing to make a stupid, childish video because she is over there trying to make money on something that is absolutely false. And usually I don't get involved with it. Usually I don't care. But this time it just hit me sideways. Do you not think that if there was Summer's shoes was found down there at Warrior State Park, that was not collected and entered into evidence? Come on now. Really? You think the TBI is that slow? You think Equusearch is that slow? If there was 6 cans of twisted tea down there instead of 2, do you not think that those cans were picked up by Equusearch or somebody else or TBI and entered into evidence? Do you not think that they're swabbing those cans for DNA? At the very beginning, 6 months ago. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Gwen. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That helps. That helps me keep my subscriptions up and going, so I've always got a way to research no matter what case we're working on. So I do appreciate any of that. I do appreciate my super chats and I appreciate my subs. But all that was collected at the very beginning. I mean, I agree, the law enforcement has been a little slow, or seems to us to be a little slow on this case. And I don't always agree with the way that they're handling this case. I've seen them mishandle Holly Bobo's case. I mean, bad. They fumbled that case up so bad. And I'm afraid they're doing the same thing with Summers. But surely to goodness, they learned a lot of lessons along the way. And the Holly Bobo Act is in effect in Tennessee, and they have guidelines that they have to follow. Exactly. Just look at how many times that one has been put in jail for domestic violence. But they're supposed to be advocates against that. And like I said, I don't agree with the way that they might be handling the case, but they do have guidelines that they have to follow. And I do, if I trust anybody in this case that has been near the case, it's Tim Miller and Dave Rader with Equusearch. And if they found one shred of evidence at Warrior State Park, you can bet your bottom dollar and your socks it was bagged, it was tagged, and it was turned over as evidence. If I do not trust anybody else that has been near this case, I trust Equusearch. And I know for a fact Equusearch was there. I know for a fact that they searched ground and water at that park. I let them have their little minions on my channel. It really doesn't bother me because I did speak to my attorney today before I ever decided to go public, because I am a state employee, and that is one way for them to go to jail. So let them do it. I'm human just like everybody else. I'm not using bits and pieces of their videos. I'm very familiar with Randy Weaver and his family and that whole situation. Setting up on that hill. Absolutely. Equusearch, like I said, if you don't trust anybody else that's been near the Summer Wells case, you can trust. I mean, I seen them people out there walking shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee, ankle to ankle, scraping every piece of ground to make sure that they did not miss a twig. Raking the ground, walking, I mean, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee, ankle to ankle, scraping the ground to make sure that they did not miss anything. And I know for a fact, even, I mean, there's pictures proving that TBI had divers in the water. And even a month ago, they went back a month ago and they dived in that water again. There's pictures of it on WJHL. I'm not sure where he was working at the time. I thought he was working at a car place, to tell you the truth. But both of them have a wrap sheet that I can stand in my chair and hold up, and it would still hit the ground. Jennifer, is just about somebody saying that Warrior's Path was never properly searched. And they're basically getting donations to go to Warrior State Park so they can search that park. And if you go back to Chris M's video when he's got Candace down there at Warrior State Park, he asked her, "Do you know those people?" She said no. Later, we find out that that was Equusearch. They searched that ground thoroughly. They searched the waterways thoroughly. TBI has pictures up on the TBI website of them diving that water. They have pictures up of where they droned that aerial, and there's aerial footage. So they have searched it by ground, they have searched it by foot, they have searched it by water, they have searched it by air. Every piece, every shred of evidence, every string the Equusearch found was bagged, tagged, and turned over. Both times they were there. So I'm just trying to stop misinformation this time. Because I know for a fact, because even if I didn't trust law enforcement, I trust Equusearch. I mean, like, put a 1 in the chat if you trust Equusearch. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. I've got 54 people in here. Let's see what it comes back as. I seen that video she made and it makes sense. And another thing that I have thought of that makes sense, in June with the water temperature like that, and if that is a spot of blood on her belly, if that is a spot of blood, where the seatbelt is at, think about this. Snakes are waking up in that water. They're coming out of hibernation. And they ball up together to keep warm. And if she got anywhere near that log and she got into a ball of baby snakes, it's a possibility that she might have even got snake bit in the belly. People are trafficked for a lot of reasons, and it don't always have to do with SA. What's up with these YouTubers is people dropping $200 super chats. Not 5, not 10. You know, YouTubers that research, we do need a few super chats along the way to keep up our subscriptions, like I do, for research. But good grief, at thousands of dollars every day. I know exactly what you mean, Jenna. Oh, that horse pond is filthy. But that picture to me just looks staged, y'all. And it really, it always has. It just looks like a staged photograph to me. Exactly, Dolly. I posted a thing the other day where there was 138 cases in California with these people where they refuse to give their kids medical attention, but this specific religion has some of the best doctors in the country. And that makes absolutely zero amount of sense to me. But they do. They do it. So, I mean, y'all do what you want with money. I mean, it's your money. You work hard for your money, or you get your money however you get it. There's, like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with supporting your favorite YouTuber along the way. But don't do it in $199 increments, for God's sakes. I don't even know that I could accept a donation that big because I know how hard people work for their money. And I see people dropping that kind of money throughout one of their 2 or 3 hour live streams. Y'all go watch them time and time and time and time and time again. Day after day after day. Yeah, she's over there snoring. Look, she's in her chair. Just, can y'all see her? That's Miss Cookie Monster. She's like our group mascot. Yeah, I've got it kind of dark in here. She don't like the lights real bright. She's napping. She's old. She turned 13 at Thanksgiving. And she's got a thing in her eye. She needs surgery. Um, oh, what do you call them? I forget, but she's got a eye issue, and sometimes when you look into her eye, it looks really cloudy. So, yes, cataract. That's it. And she seems to do better, not in the dark, but just when it's like not bright, but not dark, just like a medium light. She seems to do better in that. She's been with me a long time. Low light, yes, that's what I'm trying to think of. When she stands up, she looks like a Peterbilt dump truck. I mean, she is wide. She weighs over 100 pounds. Thank you, Jenna. Or not that, Jenna. I appreciate that so much. And the $5 super chats are fine with me. Just do not send the $199 ones. That would make me feel so uncomfortable. I've thought about that, Micah. I've thought about what if she belongs to Don's son and she just went home when he got out of jail. She looks a whole lot like Don the Third to me. I agree 100% with what Dave Rader said from Equusearch. There's two people on the face of this earth that's walking around that knows exactly what happened to Summer. And they need to tell us what happened to her. Hey, Woody, how are you? Look at how full and fat her face looked in that Christmas photo. Summer was never a fat, plump, chunky child. I don't know, but I bet the TBI is finding out because I seen a clip and I've noticed going back on these TBI news updates, they're editing these clips. And I even left a comment on one of them and I said, why are y'all editing these clips? But Ronnie Lawson says, we are monitoring all social media. So now they are monitoring all social media. So I bet you that they are finding out exactly what Don meant by, and we had just got her back. It makes you wonder if they were leaving her places for drugs, going back and getting her, and then leaving her again until they paid off the drugs. If I go and stay somewhere, I take her to hotels with me. And I really do. I have seizures. And if I start to have a seizure, she will just go to barking and barking and barking before I start seizing. And I tell them at the hotel, she has to be with me because she actually does detect before I have a seizure. So I know when to take that pill. But she's been with me so long, and that's just something that she learned, not something that somebody taught her. She just learned. It was a learned behavior. I have been lucky. This new medicine that they put me on, I have not had a seizure in a year and a half. And it's a mixture of Topamax and Neurontin. That Keppra, it worked pretty good for me, but I would still have seizures probably once a month. Being Creek and Cherokee is not always in how we look because we have been mixed in the Appalachian Mountains so much. The Creek is in your heart. That's something you know inside. That's something that's instilled within. These people, they're all just something else. But yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe they weren't getting large amounts since they were running. It seemed like they were running a trap house. Like they weren't getting large amounts of drugs and leaving her, taking them back home, selling the drugs, going back and getting her. Because he has a history of that, according to Trish and according to the grandmother. Trish's grandmother, which would be Don's mother, or Don's stepmother. So why not now? It's just a thought. And that's coming out of Don's mouth. It's not coming out of mine. He just got her back and then she was took again. Did y'all catch Kendall Ray's video on Summer Wells that she just released? If you did not catch Kendall Ray's video on Summer Wells, go look for that video and watch it, because there was several things that she says in that video that I had not heard before. I watched it last night. And evidently her information comes straight from Candace. She got an interview with Don and Candace. Most of the facts was what we had already heard. But some of it that she put out there was a little bit different than what we have heard before. Exactly. I've seen that photo of Summer making the hand sign. And I matched that hand sign to one of the local gangs in the area too, and I forget now what it is. You'll have to go back and watch the video of the guy that was caught in the area in Beach Creek with all the hypodermic needles and the heroin, whatever gang he was running. And he had a history of kidnapping, selling women for prostitution, and all sorts of stuff. And, Don said that some N had his kid, and he said that N word. Well, this was a colored guy that had all this history that had got caught down there in Beach Creek with all that heroin and all those hypodermic needles. That was the head of this gang. I don't remember what his name is right off, though. Might have been Williams. Not sure of that. It's been a while back since I done that video. It's hard not to get caught up in the drama. Like I said, I've been trying to stay out of it, but today when I seen her making that video of they've not even searched the right area, and trying to collect more money on that. And I've known for a fact that Dave and Twyla had in Equusearch was down there, and they searched every inch of Warrior's Path twice, plus TBI. I was like, no, this, I can prove it with facts. I can prove it with pictures. I can prove that they were there. Chris McDonough can prove it. Yeah, RAE, Kendall Ray. RAE. But y'all give that a watch and see what you think about that. For sure, because there was a couple of things that she said Candace said that was different than what we were used to hearing. So, all right, guys, y'all know if I make real long videos, it shuts them down as private and they don't upload for hours and hours. So, I'm going to cut this short. I appreciate that, Micah. And I appreciate all my subs. I appreciate y'all's support. And I will see y'all probably, if I don't see you later tonight, I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. And I love each and every one of you. And my heart is just so full that you guys think enough of me to come into my home with me and listen to me talk about Summer or Michael or any of the missing people that I choose to talk about. So thank y'all, because without y'all, I wouldn't have a channel. I wouldn't be anything without you guys. So I appreciate that, and I love you guys. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.